Kia ora, Legionnaires, Rykon here, streaming once again to you live. Before we go any further today, I want to test that everything is working okay, that you can hear and see me okay. So, we'll get those checks in underway first of all, and then we'll dive into a little bit of news and talk and whatnot and everything else in between. Hey, it's good to see you all. It's been a very, very long time. So, let's get the audio checks out the way, and we'll see where we're at. Well, I guess you can see me perfectly fine. Excellent. Excellent. Fantastic. Now, I do have some music going in the background. Let me know if that's too loud for you, or if it's too quiet. It's Skyrim, so sometimes it can get really, really loud. Yeah. Thank you for the comments on the hair. Yeah. It's kind of gone wild. And, yeah, it's been, I think, well over a year since we've been able to sit down and have a live talk like this. I ended up calling a halt to the town halls for a long while, just because, yeah, I was finding time to stream on the weekends quite difficult, but I want to have more of these, you know, you and me conversations more often, just because, yeah, I miss them. I definitely miss them. And, well, yeah, it's been a year. It's been a very, very busy year. You've seen me bits and pieces in between, I believe. We did have the 100,000 celebration and everything else in between. But, yeah, a lot has happened in that time. I am well. I hope you are well. And, yeah, you might have noticed that things have been very, very busy on the channel. I've been releasing a lot more this year than I have any other year. I've been trying to up the output of things as much as possible, but as always, you know, I think there reaches a point where I need to reel it back in again and reevaluate things. And this month, I've been doing a lot of reevaluating, and I will make a separate video to talk about this because it's a big move, it's a scary move, but I made a decision recently, and, you know, it would be great to know what you all think about that as well. But for a long time, I have struggled with image, I guess you could say, when it comes to what I present to you all on YouTube in terms of my content. In my mind, it is all similar. Right? It's all role-playing. It's telling stories with video games. But I know that the audience and, well, YouTube isn't always going to see it that way. And while I love every single one of you, I know that there can be a divided audience on what I produce. When I originally started doing YouTube, I was just doing full-blown cinematic role-plays. That was the thing. But I have changed my style over the years. Don't get me wrong. Cinematic roleplays are still my core. They're my passion. But they're difficult to present to the wider YouTube community. And so I made a decision to start a second channel. So, what does that mean? Well, Rykon roleplays will still be Rykon roleplays. All of my cinematic roleplays are going to be here on this channel. That's my core, right? I have a second channel now, and I did hide it in the description of this video, but some of you managed to find it last night, so congratulations to the first of you who managed to get there really early before I was even able to talk about it. But yes, there is a second channel. I am going to start posting on it on July 1st. We're going to have a new series kicking off on there. Can't talk too much about that at this stage. But what is this second channel going to be? Effectively, the second channel is going to be surrounding survival games and storytelling. Because the thing is, I'm still going to tell a story, even if it isn't a full-blown cinematic roleplay. So, that's where Cataclysm, RimWorld, anything else that is survival-orientated, that isn't a full-blown cinematic roleplay, So things like Tale of the Blade will still be on this channel because they are a full roleplay in my mind, or at least they have the cinematic component to them. Because that's the thing. I know that isn't going to be to everyone's taste. I've tried stuff out in the past. When I first did the original Cataclysm series with Luna, I did it much more, I guess you could say, cinematic, in that it was more of a narration. But then I know many of you missed out on the actual mechanics, the crunchiness that's there. And I totally understand that, because that is how I am when it comes to viewing Cataclysm content. And I know that while we can tell a story with it, it is still really interesting to see the progress and see the actual gameplay of it. Otherwise, it is missing out a little bit too much. And I know that even some of you that, watch my Kenshi series will miss seeing the kind of normal gameplay that we are kind of lacking in Cat's Tale that we're telling at the moment. So yeah, it's in the description. I'm going to post it elsewhere. I'm also going to create a separate video about it as well. So yeah, there's going to be a split in the content, I guess you could say. So if you head on over there now, you will notice that that the playlists from this channel have started to migrate over there. The content isn't going to move. It's very, very difficult to do that on YouTube, but yeah, the playlists will be there. So what will end up happening is that I won't hide the playlists on this channel, but they won't be as visible. I guess they won't be on the main page. So there will be a bit of confusion about it for a while, and that's why I wanted to get ahead of this early. And yeah, and get the word out there. It's something that I have been wanting to do for a while. And it's scary, don't get me wrong, it's scary because YouTube is, well, there are so many whims and things that can change, a change in the wind, and, stuff can go wrong. But yeah, so the reason why I wanted to do this stream in the first place was to kind of, announce it and to effectively answer any questions that might come from this. And also try and kind of outline where I see things going. So like stuff like Seeking Sovngarde, for example, stuff like Frost, stuff like Dust, that is stuff that would exist on the Rykon channel. And I guess I didn't say the name of it, but it's just going to be Rykon. Because it's me. I'm still telling stories. It's similar, but it is different enough that I hope that it does help people that just want one specific kind of thing, because I know it can be hard. Don't get me wrong, I'm subscribed to other YouTubers that I watch, and you might be really interested in one type of content, but they do another type of content, and it can be frustrating seeing that there all the time. So you don't have to be subscribed to both channels, but doesn't help. It doesn't help? No, it doesn't hurt. Yeah. That's what I was trying to get to. So yeah, Ritualcast is staying on this channel. Zealand is staying on this channel because those are core role-playing things. I promise I'm going to stop attacking the microphone. So yeah, anything tabletop role-playing related, that's still going to be on this channel. So yeah, congratulations Timmy G on number 69. Yes. And yeah, thank you all for joining me today as well. And thank you, Nanania, for the super chat. I have no idea whether or not Janet is still working at this stage. She's been off for a long, long while. But I guess we'll see. I think maybe. Let me listen.
Do what makes you happy. That's when the content is the best. I support you, and so does Buster, heart.
Well, thank you to you and Buster. I hope that you are all able to hear that okay. Any updates on Zealand? So we haven't started recording Zealand again yet, but we have recorded, I guess you could say, interviews for a introduction to the new campaign. And that's the thing, is it's not going to be another season. This is campaign 2 at this stage in Zealand, because things are that different. Yeah. So more news on that coming eventually. Ritual Cast, we're very close to starting our first record. I think we're about 2 weeks away from it at this stage. We just did a test the other day. For those of you who don't know, Vedant is now in the UK, so we had to set up some technology to make it work, but I kid you not, it's the weirdest thing. For you at home watching, you probably won't be able to tell the difference at all. The way that we've got it set up, it seems exactly the same as it was. And this test that we did the other day, it was weird because it really did kind of feel like Vedant was there with us, which is fantastic. That's exactly what you want. And yeah, we didn't really have any technical issues that should stop us from doing it the way that we want to do it. Yeah, we've also got some pretty interesting stuff coming in terms of how we are going to present. Yes, I was going to say presentate. No. The way that we're going to present the series. So the second season of that is looking very, very good. Okay, all right. Let's get to some other questions then, hey? So, JJB, what about Logan, Dust, and Akira? So, Akira is going to be on the new channel, and I'm going to be trying to do Akira a little bit differently in terms of Fallout 76. I'm going to try and do more live streams with that at this stage, just because I know it isn't the most popular series that I produce, but I still really enjoy it, and I still really want to play through Fallout 76. And I think that might give us some instances in which we might be able to work with other players as well. So, stay tuned on that front. But yeah, as soon as July 1st hits, that's when I'm going to start shifting things over. So if you watch playlists, you probably won't notice any difference if you have the playlist saved, because it's just going to be a new channel adding to that playlist. So yeah, it is difficult to do that stuff with an ongoing series, but because we have quite a few, they're not close to wrapping up just yet. Any new RimWorld coming soon? I'd say we're probably still a few months away from new RimWorld at this stage. Bionically Challenged and Whisperfire, thank you very much.
Are you going to do a series with Noah again?
I'll get to that in 1 second. We'll just see if Janice got anything else to say. Maybe not. Maybe not. But Whisperfire, thank you very much as well. Here she is.
I'm with you with the Fallout 76. Keep me updated.
I shall. I most certainly shall. Am I going to do another series with Noah again? Probably not. Probably not. Unless we use Noah in a different game. In the same way that Elliot has had many incarnations across the multiverse. So, entirely possible. Entirely possible, but just in a different thing. So yeah, about RimWorld, probably still a few months away. I am going to be doing a short series in between with Going Medieval. It's a challenge that I've wanted to do for quite a while, and it's not going to be a long, drawn-out series by any means. I want to make it a lot shorter, snappier, and kind of just jump through some of the early games. New Flat, I've actually been here for a while. Most of the time I just have the green screen up whenever I'm doing anything here. But yeah, no, I've been here since 2020, April 2020, I think. Yeah, and boy howdy, it's been an interesting few years, to say the least. Yeah. Cameron, thank you very much for your super chat there. I'm gonna have a sip while Jenna speaks.
My favorite current series is your current Kenshi roleplay.
I'm glad you like it. I'm going to be working on that today to have that out for this weekend. I used to record in a tiny room, Zakad. And interestingly enough, I mean, I used to have to record in a tent, effectively. Lucian, thank you very much for your super chat there. But yeah, I used to have to record in a tent, pretty much. Moving blankets slapped around me, and it was ridiculously hot. I'm still using the exact same microphone that I was using back then. I'll just let Janet jump in.
What would you think of bringing Bran back?
Yet again, believe it or not, I actually have plans for Bran, in terms of what game I could see him existing in, to actually be a direct continuity of his story. So, yeah, it's something that I definitely want to do. It's just further away at this stage. But yes, yeah, it used to be tiny room, same microphone, but I'm in this really big space, and usually I would have to soundproof that, but I don't need to anymore because of technology. It's wild. The amount of processing, like audio processing, some of the software that I've got that it can do is bananas. It can get rid of pretty much anything. I know that there have been times where I've been recording Akira and I've talked about there being like a weed eater and a lawnmower in the background, like literally right outside the door, and you can't hear it. It's impressive. It's very strange. Few comments about Starfield. I mean, 100% I'm going to be role-playing that. 100%. The second that Bethesda announced it, I was super excited about it. I'm tempering my expectations, you know? It's not going to be Star Citizen. That's totally fine. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be a big space sim. As long as it's a you know, compelling role-playing game, I'm there. I really don't think it needed the 1,000 planets thing, but cool, I guess. I mean, if they've got really good procedural tech, they might be able to make it interesting. But I think the general consensus that most people have about that announcement is we don't need 1,000 planets. It's the same reason why I stopped playing No Man's Sky when it first came out. Because I realized if I didn't stop, I wasn't going to stop. It's a really interesting game, for sure. But I found I was just cataloging, and this is before a lot of the new content that's come in now was actually in the game. And yeah, I just knew that if I didn't stop doing it, I was going to catalog the entire freaking universe, and you can't do that. It's impossible. So yeah. Darth Bane, will Patreon stay the same or will I split that? At this stage, I'm going to keep it the same, but we might look at splitting that in the future, because then that can kind of be a way for you to kind of show, you know, where you want time spent most of all. The way that the release schedule is going to work is very similar to how it is now. There is going to be at least one roleplay per week, and that's going to be coming out on the weekend, which I think at this stage we have that set to be Sundays. Yes, Sundays. And at this stage, it is alternating between Kenshi and Ashes. There really is another roleplay series that I want to do, but we'll see. Obviously, I do need to get to the final stages of Logan's Tale. That's not finished yet. We got to go back to Vegas and wrap that on up. And my brain went blank. I definitely had something to say there, but oh yeah, talking about Leon as well, and Amethyst. Thank you very much for that super chat there. And hey, Janet's going to thank us.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Janet. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, Leonidas. Right, Leonidas, Skyrim. I've made a few announcement videos about it before, and I know that not everyone picks those up, but yeah. At this stage, it's still on hold. Unfortunately, I didn't realize it was going to be this long. Because, yeah, effectively the end of his story, I determined a long time ago where I wanted it to go and what I was going to need to do that. There is a mod that's coming out, Apotheosis. I've talked about it before. That is the perfect place, a perfect direction to take Leon's story in next. Unfortunately, it's taken a lot longer than I thought to release. Unfortunately, that's the way it is with mods. You know, people are working for free. And yeah, I mean, you can't rush stuff like that, right? We will have a continuity, a continuing of Leon's story in another season. But at this stage, it was one of those things where it's like, I feel like we left his story at a point where it was like, it was a good resting point. I know it's been a lot longer than any of us would have liked, but here we are. Yeah. I have just noticed one thing. I am using a different camera for this setup today. You might notice the sync is slightly off. It's going to run out of power. So, I'm going to go and grab a cable for that real quick so that it doesn't run out of power. Yeah. Battery life wasn't as much as I thought. And you know what? It's probably fine. It's probably fine. But just to be safe. So, you're going to have to give me one moment here. It's not a Wi-Fi camera. It's one of the cameras that we use for Ritualcast. The regular webcams that I use, they're okay. But this camera's a lot better in general. So you'll probably see me disappear for a moment into the background here. Be right back. Oh, you get to see my legs, and then I'm wearing slippers. Terrible. Yes, I have cables and a laundry basket currently. Sue me. And now we need to find some free power. Oh boy. Okay, do not pull out the wrong thing. Uh-huh. How do we want to do this? How do we want to do this? That's a good question. That's a very good question. Okay, I'm going to disappear underneath this desk for a little bit here. If the stream turns off, then, you know, I'll be back. All right, I'm going under. All right, everything's still turned on, so that's great. Let me just plug you in here. This is the weird ASMR content that you didn't know that you wanted. Hey, there we go. Oh. Stream saved. Stream saved. Oh boy. Okay, so I might have missed a few questions there. But here we are. Any more Cooking with Rykon videos? I really want to do more. I had so much fun. Believe it or not, I had a ridiculous amount of fun on that Skyrim video. It was chaotic, but damn, it was good. It was so much fun. It was like 6 hours, I feel like, though. So, yeah, a lot went into that. I'll see if I can get my hands on the Fallout cookbook, because I feel like we could probably do some interesting things with that. Yes. Oh, dear. Thanks, Eli. It's keeping me warm. It's pretty cold in New Zealand at the moment, which means it's mild for most of the rest of the world, but it's cold for us. So there. I have heard about the X series. Yeah, I played them when I was a lot younger, and I really didn't understand how to play them. In terms of space sims, I have actually been playing a lot of Star Citizen in my downtime, trying to get better. In general, and I absolutely love the game. It has a lot of bugs, but it's still just, it's an experience that you can't get in any other game right now. Yeah, Zakad, I have downtime. I do. There are moments indeed. Yeah. Charlemagne, thank you. And Timmy G, thank you very much. Much appreciated. The Cataclysm cookbook? My god, yes.
Better than HBO.
Well, if you say so, Janet. If you say so. Yeah, I would love to do some Cataclysm cooking. And actually cook it in the various different Cataclysm styles of cooking. So pointed stick over fire being the first one. We can make a hobo stove. Lots of options. Whisperfire,
I kinda
thank
like
you
it
very
that
much,
you're
and
as
Jacob.
dysfunctional as the rest of us.
I mean, definitely, and maybe more so than many of you. It's entirely possible. Entirely possible.
Is it possible in your current kit to actually get high-tech with the current mods?
I don't know, and that's part of the fun. You know, when I was originally doing Leif's Tale, which is kind of like the precursor to Hilma, I didn't know where the limit was going to be, and I don't think we touched the limit with Leif at all back in his series. Hilma has made it much further than Leif did, which is surprising because Leif had lots of bonuses that Hilma didn't have. You know, he had access to clothes very early on, which made quite a difference. And the game has changed a lot and become much harder since then as well. But yeah. That's the kind of whole purpose of the Innerwood series, is to see how far you can go with having nothing, starting off with nothing. Unfortunately, Bowtie Neo, fantastic name, Hilma can't use her diary anymore, which is weird. For some reason, during one of the updates a while back, it completely broke the diary function for me. So whenever I go into the diary, it crashes the game now. So that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Nanania, Amelie is very well. She might even visit us during this stream. In terms of length of this stream as well, I didn't really plan it out. I originally looked at around about an hour. We'll see where we're at the end of the hour as well. Yeah, because I just wanted it to kind of be more of an impromptu Q&A, much more like the town halls. And yep, the town halls are something that I do want to bring back. Yeah, it's just kind of been about finding balance over time. And unfortunately, with the town halls, it meant that I was taking time away from editing and, well, mostly editing. By that stage, I was usually done with recording. But I'm always trying to streamline my process as much as possible. And I'm hoping that I'm going to get a little bit better at that going forwards. Because the trouble is, I always want to do more. Not less stuff. I always want to do more. Even though I'm working on a lot of stuff right now, there are countless other series that I want to be able to bring to you and different stories that I want to be able to tell. Do I know when Logan will be returning? I guess that's the thing. I think I probably will put it to a vote, because I would like to add another roleplay back into the rotation, so that we kind of have, you know, unfortunately it does mean like if you're waiting for one series, you are going to be waiting 3 weeks for it, but the variety does help as well. It makes a big difference when it comes to working on the roleplays, because there's a lot that goes into them, and the editing process can be tedious. I think that's the trouble for me. I do enjoy editing. I enjoy recording a lot more, because once you're done recording, that's it. You're done. But when you're editing, you can go back over the same thing again and again. And, you know, there will still be mistakes. There will still be things that I end up missing out on. Unfortunately. Yes. Where was I going with that? I don't know. Completely lost my train of thought. It's the whole reading and speaking at the same time. Yeah. Zealand will be returning, Nomad. It will. We're working on Campaign 2 currently. Nikki, thank you very much for your super chat.
Gonna need you to do an ASMR channel as well, Rykon.
Yes, and
Playful
Janet,
face.
you will be there as well, don't worry. Yeah. Yeah, Dread. There are definitely ways to speed things up when it comes to editing. Yeah. And it's the tough thing, because I really do enjoy editing, I do. But yeah, I think sometimes it's just the process can be tedious. And especially if I'm having issues as well. Which I do. But the thing is, I've come to know my technology quite well. Like I use Premiere Pro, and yeah, it's a funny thing where if I get into a project, I have too many cuts, I'll need to make a separate sequence, otherwise it'll just start crashing constantly. So that's fun. That's a fun thing that it does. Yeah. I mean, there could very well be some of that, Alex. Could be. Hello, Rhythm. Welcome. And yeah, there will be many of you who have joined this since the start of the stream. But the main event, the reason why this stream was happening, is to announce the second channel that I have. So if you're in the chat at the moment, if you're watching right now and you have missed that announcement, there is a second channel. I talked about it a little bit more early on. I will be releasing a separate video to talk about that there as well. We'll probably be looking at recording that next week. And yeah, one other thing, next week, I'm not going to be here, unfortunately. So things are going to be a little bit more quiet. Next week, I'm going to be going on a little bit of a trip with my dad and my brother. It's been a while since we've been able to do anything like that. Yeah, COVID has been rough in New Zealand. We avoided things for a very, very long time, and I think that made people very, very relaxed. And yeah, things were bad here for a while. They're certainly better than they were, but they're still not great. So, yes. I haven't seen too much about the new Outlast game yet. I knew that there were going to be multiplayer aspects to it. I don't know if it's just a fully multiplayer game or not. But I think those are the kind of role plays that I want to try and get into more. Outlast is one of my favorite role plays I've ever done. And I think what's enjoyable about it is it's concise. It is a story that isn't overarching and as ambitious as like Leon and Logan. Because don't get me wrong, I love their stories, but I know that any series that goes on for 7 or 8 years is is asking for a lot from the audience. So yeah, I do want to do more role plays like that, where there are a little bit more, concise and all of that. And so that's the thing, is I will be looking for more game suggestions when it comes to games like that, because I really, really did enjoy it. I'm going to see if I can pin that channel link to the chat. Let's see about that. Let's give that a shot. And we'll pin that message. There we go. It's right there. Oh, that's going to sit at the top, isn't it? That looks ugly as. Oh, there we go. That's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. Still kind of ugly, but here we are. That's fine. It works. It works. So there. Yeah. One moment. Okay. Apparently it's solo as well. All right. Yeah, Gordon, somehow I have managed to avoid getting ill for a very, very long time, which has been great. Yes. Rhythm, what is the second channel going to be used for? So the second channel is going to be, well, effectively there's a bit of a divide. I've split things. So this channel here, Rykon Roleplays, that is going to be where all of my cinematic roleplays are. So things like Skyrim, things like Tale of the Blade, things like Logan's Tale, all of that stuff, that's going to be here. My other series that I do, things like Cataclysm, RimWorld, etc., they are going to be on the other channel, Rykon, which that is going to be focused on survival and storytelling. So, it's that thing. It's still, it's effectively, that's the thing, it's still effectively the same thing, but I know that, that YouTube does tend to differentiate between viewers. So, yeah, that's the plan, to keep those things separate, separate but together, I am just drinking water this morning. Yeah. The Long Dark is 100% a game that I've wanted to cover, that I've wanted to do some stuff with, and I've thought about that for the second channel, of course. But yeah, the first series that we're going to be doing with that is in Going Medieval, and that's going to be, like I said, short, concise, a bit heavily edited, or more heavily edited than normal. So yes, that shall be the plan with that. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate the thought there, Shadow. Yeah, as soon as I saw the trailer as well, it got me excited. I mean, when I saw the original teaser, I was excited about being able to roleplay with that. Yeah, unfortunately, Pillars is a bit too long. Yeah. Like, even myself, I have played through part of it before, but I ended up watching a long play on YouTube. Yes. Have I played any other games off camera that I have enjoyed? I'll think about that. Lucian, thank you very much. Yes. I'm gonna eat my flask. Yeah. I've already had coffee, Eli. That's the trick. That is the trick. Fantasy, thank you.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like the Kenshi series is slightly inspired by a certain manga that's coming back. Eyes, that said, how do you feel about Berserk coming back?
Hey. I'm excited about that. Oh, here's our other one.
Rykon, you left your internal furnace on.
Indeed, I'm going to eat the flask. I am. Thoughts about it coming back. I am a massive Berserk fan. It has influenced a lot of my works before. There are aspects of Leon's Tale that are heavily inspired by Berserk. And yeah, Tale of the Blade, big time inspiration from Berserk. And how do I feel about it coming back? I'm excited, because I think there's two different ways that we can look at it. One is, the story ended with Mura. But everything that we get afterwards, I think it's a take it or leave it type thing. Rhythm, thank you. Thank you.
This is my first donation. Keep doing you.
I appreciate the donation, my friend. I do. But yeah, it's I think if they can keep the quality the same, then or at least, well, not the same, but close, then I think we give it a shot. And if it's bad, if it's really, really bad, we can just decide that the story ended where it did, and everything that came afterwards is a dream or fan fiction, Not to undermine the new team's work, but yeah, I think it continuing isn't going to be. I don't think it's going to be a bad thing. Yeah. And saying that, where the last issue ended, for me that also works. Yes. Ben, hello. Welcome. Star Sector. I've played Star Sector briefly during a stream, and that is a game that I enjoy. I haven't played too much of that off cam. Right. There was the question about if and what I've been enjoying, outside of making stuff. So Star Citizen has been a major one. There's been a lot of Star Citizen. But I've just recently started diving back into Dragon Age Inquisition. I never did finish it when I was playing it originally, but with the announcement of Dreadwolf, it got me excited again, and I really do want to play through it. I really enjoy Inquisition as a game. I think it's a great game. Just the way it plays is interesting. But yeah, that's kind of the main thing. that I've been playing. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, Elden Ring, of course. I mean, a ridiculous amount of Elden Ring. Yeah, not so much lately, but I still need to finish it. I do. I just need to find the time to sit down and play it. I've been playing through it with Intnut. Intnut has been my lore master the whole way through, which has definitely helped. Ruth, thank you very much for that super chat. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
Just want to say thanks for all the great storytelling.
Thank you. And Janet, thank you. Janet's been very kind today. Very, very kind. Have I been playing Horizon Forbidden West? I haven't, unfortunately. I couldn't remember if it was a console exclusive or not. I don't know if it is. I am not sure. But generally, I stick to PC gaming for the most part. I have played things outside of that, but, you know, most of the time it's on here. Rhythm, you'd love an evil roleplay. I mean, I would like to do something like that. I mean, for the longest time, and I know I've talked about it so much that it's probably getting old now, I've wanted to do a Dishonored roleplay, and I feel like that's something where you can, you know, go with a, not evil, but an anti-hero. So, I think that would probably be the closest that I get to evil. I mean, the thing is though, I think there are aspects of Logan that could be seen as evil. Some of the decisions, some of the choices that he's made, and, you know, even Ash, and probably stuff to come with Ash in Ashes. He might seem evil. But yeah. Any chances of a Mountain Blade 1 or 2 roleplay? I did start recording a Mountain Blade 2 roleplay, but I just found like it wasn't working out for me at the time. Not to say that I won't do that in the future, but the possibility's there. I don't mean to tease about these things as well. I do want to do them, it's just a question of in what order and when and time and whatnot. Yeah. How was this the two Sith Lords not evil? I mean, yeah, they were pretty evil. But the thing that I struggle with is that even when I'm evil, I still do good actions. Yeah. Grayson, I think I probably will only be doing Facecam for live stream related stuff. And that's the thing is, with the second channel, I do want to be doing more live streaming. Ideally, what I would do is the slot that we're currently in at the moment, that's probably where I would look at streaming going forwards. Yeah. I would like to see if that was possible. Do I stream on Twitch? No, I stream on YouTube. Yes. It might be possible to stream on Twitch eventually, but yeah. I had trouble with Twitch in the past, just with login related stuff. Yeah. Oh, Dwarf Fortress 100%. I think once the Steam release of Dwarf Fortress comes out, I am wanting to do stuff with it. Probably more with adventure mode than Fortress mode, but possibly Fortress mode as well. I haven't played enough, and I'm just really not that knowledgeable when it comes to it. It's definitely possible to learn, I just haven't dedicated the hours yet at this stage. Gordon, how can you get Cataclysm for your computer? So there should be a link in one of the most recent episodes of Hilma. There will be a there'll be a link in there for the launcher. The launcher is the easiest way to install it. And then after that, I'd suggest checking out...
Have you figured out how to do the Fallout 76 streams with Akira so that she can finally have allies to do the events?
I will chat about that in a moment, Whisperfire. Definitely. Oh boy, where was I? Vormithrax. I would suggest checking out Vormithrax, who has some really good tutorials on like the actual basics of gameplay and some of the more complex stuff as well. So yes, I recommend that you check out Vormithrax, and you can find the link for the launcher in one of the most recent Cataclysm videos. So there, yes. How do I plan to do those 76 streams? I will probably contact people like yourself, Whisper, beforehand, and organize how that's going to happen, where we're going to meet up, what the plan is, effectively. And I think what I would end up doing is the regular streams, they would still be solo as part of the kind of permitted challenge, but I would like to try and knock out like a few events. And so that'll probably be the plan, is that I would probably have like an event stream where we just try and knock out event after event. And I know that, you know, there might be some waiting around for specific events to pop up, but it kind of gives Akira a chance to see some of those things and for us to experience them as well. Yeah, Holster Guard, Aurora Forex is amazing. I absolutely love that game. I don't play it myself. I watch really, really long shows on YouTube. I feel like, oh man, no, unfortunately, YouTuber's name has slipped my mind right now. Enter Elysium, I think. Enter Elysium, yes, I believe. I've watched a large chunk of his Aurora series. Because I love stuff like that, you know, give me spreadsheets. Yeah, because I find with a lot of that stuff, and even kind of like the very, very simple ASCII stuff that we get from Dwarf Fortress and Cataclysm, I do like that because, yeah, it's imagination, you know? You let your imagination kind of display. Best graphics card of all, yeah? Yeah. Will there be any other roleplay series coming by the way soon, Ben? Yeah, so obviously Dishonored is something that I really do want to do. Something else that I want to try is Enderall. I've wanted to do Enderall for a very, very long time. I feel like it could work quite well as a roleplay. But I think that's one of the things that I'm going to kind of put to a vote. Whether or not we continue with Logan in New Vegas first, or if we go for a new series, we'll see where we are with that. Have I thought about doing any other tabletop RPGs like Vampire the Masquerade? I've wanted to do Vampire for a very, very long time. I don't know if that's something that I would stream, just because that is another piece of content that does take quite a bit to get through. Yeah, I mean, like, just because the sessions that we do are generally around about 5 hours long, and so when I'm editing them, it does mean that I'm there the whole time editing through them. Quite often when I'm editing, I will be going through at double speed, but even then, it does take a full day of editing. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if that link is broken, Lucian. I haven't actually updated it in a little while. Actually, in saying that, I think most of the things should probably still be the same on that, but yeah, I will have to have a look at that link and see if I can fix that. Yeah. Barking. Yeah, I am gonna be looking at the membership sides of things on YouTube here as well, to have that as being an option to support the channel. It's just something that I haven't implemented yet at this stage. I feel like Krug Smash could do some pretty good stuff with Aurora, especially being able to bring some of the visuals to life. Like, I feel like one of my favorite Krug Smash series is his stuff in the Long Night. Just, yeah, being able to bring some of the really, really obscure designs from that mod to life is impressive. Metallica Dragon. I have played Eve in the past. No plans to jump back into that. I haven't played that in, I think, like 8 years maybe or more. Yeah, it's a lot. I hope that Enderall's a bit more stable now. It does have its own Steam release and whatnot, so fingers crossed that things will be good there. Yeah, that'll probably need to be investigated as well, Zach had. Yeah. Right, I see. Not at this stage, Eli. But who knows? Quite possibly. I think because I do have the chance to live stream now, I can just talk about things, which is certainly easier. But funny that you mentioned Rykon Raw, because I remember the last one of that I recorded like 8 years ago or something like that. I was talking about starting over, or rather redoing things, and how sometimes I struggle. And that's the thing is, man, if I only listen to my own advice. Not the last episode of Ashes, but the episode that came out after the big break, because there was a long hiatus there. I remade that episode 4 or 5 times before I actually just released it. And I think part of that is due to, because of how long I've been doing this, I have expectations for what it should be like, and if it doesn't live up to those expectations, then I can be harsh. And sometimes that's why roleplays do take longer than the other forms of content, because if I'm not happy with it, I will really struggle to release it. And I have released some things that I'm not 100% happy with, and I wasn't 100% happy with that episode, but I knew that I needed to get something out so that I could continue with it and kind of work past the I guess bump in the road that I was experiencing then. But yeah, I redid that so many times. And I think the other tough thing with those as well is that when I run into a bug or a glitch or something like that, it can really upset the pace of things, even when it comes to editing as well, because like I have recorded a whole episode of Ashes and then not had any audio or something like that, any game audio or the rest, and then it's a whole heap of time down the drain, and that has happened. And sometimes I'm pretty good at checking before I start recording anything that everything is set up okay, but sometimes there will be an update overnight, and everything will change. But I struggled for a long time, and that's why there was a big gap in the role plays, because I just didn't feel like they were up to scratch at that time, and so that is something that I struggle with. Zakat. How did I get into camera work and whatnot? Well, I didn't actually start as a camera operator. I started off in post-production. So I left high school. I went straight into film school. It was just a year of a tech school. Really, really good though for what it was. They get you hands-on experience right away. So What's also great about that school is that they get you to trial everything. They try you as a producer, a director, camera lighting, audio, and post-production, art department as well. And I found that I really, really enjoyed editing, because I kind of liked the idea of piecing together a story from something, like a weird detective after the fact. And so that's the direction that I went in, and I worked as a editor full-time for I think a full year afterwards, and I just kind of missed interacting with people, missed interacting with crews and all the rest, and so a job opportunity came up. They needed someone that could edit, but also knew how to operate cameras, and because we do go through basic training, I knew the basics, and I could just kind of pick it up and learn from there. And then I ended up going full on into camera operating, because I started to enjoy that aspect of it, where once you're done, and that's why I think I enjoy recording more than editing now at this stage, because after you're done shooting, that's it, you go home. Whereas post, things can drag on. yeah, I mean, budgets are a thing, but yeah, when you don't have a budget and you're working on stuff yourself, you can spend a lot of time working on something. And that's the problem that I think I run into. So, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that was a mini Rykon Raw. But what I was actually going to say was the last time that I was talking about that, I was talking about starting over and redoing the same old content. And unfortunately, that's kind of all we're getting nowadays with stuff. Like, I love The Last of Us, don't get me wrong. The remake looks amazing, looks incredible, but I don't think we need it. Just tell a new story. Just tell a new story. You got a new game engine, that's great. Tell a new story in it. You don't have to go back and tell the same story. New stories, we need them. But production companies, game companies, they're not going to take a chance because they know they can very easily make a lot of money with very, very little risk. It takes a lot of work to remake something, for sure, but it's it's real low risk, super low risk, and there's no or very, very little creativity involved in that process. It just becomes it's going to make money. And that's the tough thing. If you know it's going to make money, it's very, very difficult to not do that, because even as a creative, you will have people that are telling you, this is going to sell. We are going to do this. And to try and convince them otherwise, to say, hey, look, I know we could earn millions upon millions of dollars from this, but hear me out. Let's take a gamble and make a new thing. And in The Last of Us, with that, there were a lot of people that didn't like part 2. So the idea of them taking a gamble and telling another story, and that's the thing, is I know that they are working on a new game, but it's just like funding and the rest that could have gone into that is now pulled away to something else. Yeah, I could go on about that for a very, very long time, but in general, I don't think we need remakes. Or remasters. And hey, if we do, maybe just leave it to the modding community to do it. And that's the tough thing as well, is that, you will get people that are remaking, Oblivion and Skyrim and whatnot, making Morrowind and Skyrim. And the same thing, like Fallout 3 was getting made in Fallout 4, and then they were like, hang on, whoa, stop doing, no, you can't do that. And I think the reason why is because they're like, potentially going to remake something. Just let modders do it. Just let modders, make it in there. And then great, cool, wow. New engine, fantastic. Anyway, yeah. Ruth, new stories are too risky. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Ernest, that is a very, very good point. That'll pop up on the stream in a moment there. For sure, totally. If those games aren't available anymore, or are, like you say, unplayable, then totally, But I think in a lot of instances now, there are ways to play those games. Yeah. So yeah, that was my little rant. That was my little rant on that. Yeah. Mike, I mean, yeah, I mean that's why I do this, and that's why even the second channel, that's still going to be storytelling. It's just going to be a different kind of storytelling. It's going to be what you have come to expect from Cataclysm, because yeah, I mean, I'm still telling a story with it. Like Dusk's Tale has been one of the longest that I have told, and yeah, there will still be stories. There will still be stories. But yeah, I definitely do need to make this announcement in a separate video as well, just to make it easy for people to find, for sure. But yeah, yet again, if you are only just joining the stream now, Asher, good to see you. There is a second channel. I'm going to start uploading it on the 1st of July. All of the non-cinematic roleplay content is going to be going on there. So Cataclysm, RimWorld, etc., new shows, they're all going to be taking place on there. And yeah, you know what? I think it's probably about time that I try and track down this cat. Zakad, I am going to be wrapping up the stream soon. So if you do have any other final questions, get them in now, and I will do my best to answer them before we wrap up, but I'm going to go see if I can track down a cat. So give me one moment here, please. Okay. Whoa. Here is a little cat. She was asleep, so she might be a little grouchy. But she's here at least for a little bit. So this is Amelie. I know some of you have seen her before. Yeah, Caterpillar is okay. Caterpillar lives. Say hello, Amelie. There we go. Okay, you can go back to sleep now. You can go back to sleep. We're gonna hang out here. Okay. She's gonna be around here for a little bit. You might see her wandering around in the background. Oh no, we're just gonna stop there. Okay. Oh, congratulations, Asher. Hot damn, wow. Alright. Oh, Grim. Very, very good question. Am I worried that splitting content time into 2 separate channels might hurt your income? Yes, I am terrified. I am absolutely terrified. So, we're going to see how that goes, because it is a scary thing. Changing anything with YouTube is incredibly scary, because right now, things are working. You know, things are working well. Thanks to many of you who support the channel, and the current ad revenue that I've got coming in from Rykon roleplays, I earn enough to survive, which is great. To be able to do that and, you know, to be able to do what I want to be doing with my time is fantastic. It's scary. It's super, super scary. But I hope it's going to work out. I hope it's going to work out okay. For a little while, the second channel isn't going to have monetization, so it's not going to have ads on it. So that's scary as well. But I'm hoping that will change soon. Where I kind of need to get to on that, I think, is 1,000 subscribers and something like 1,000 hours of watch time, possibly. It could be more, it could be less. So yeah, there will be a little while in between that. But July 1st is when I want to start that switch over. And so, hey, if you are interested in supporting the channel, Patreon is a fantastic way to do it. There are ways to do it through YouTube as well, but unfortunately YouTube takes quite a bit of that cut. So Patreon, fantastic way to support the channel going forwards. I will be talking about that a little bit more as well. Yeah, 1,000 hours of watch time. Yeah, so, and that's the thing is, I can hit that based upon how much we get per month on here at the moment. I think we're still doing like 300,000 per month on here or something like that. I think we're still doing like 300,000. Well, open the stream in another window. Fantastic job there, Rykon. Fantastic job. Yeah. But yes, I think it will work out okay. Fingers crossed. It's bloody terrifying. It is absolutely terrifying. But yeah, I will be releasing another video about that. I'm going to pin it on the channel. It's going to be the main one. But, yeah, I know, Zachad. Yeah, no, I know. Hey, I don't do the streaming thing that often. It's always going to be an absolute shambles, but that's part of the fun. Yeah. So yes, I will be spreading the word about the Rykon channel, the second channel, and I'm hoping that once I start shifting things over there as well, that'll work out okay. I will be talking about it in each of the series that are going to go over there as well. So obviously right now, Hilna and Cataclysm, that is going to be going over there. Akira is also going to be going over there as well, so I will be talking about it in the next episodes of those. But yeah, July 1st is when everything is going to shift over. So yeah. Tim, how am I feeling about Hilma at this moment? Great. I'm really good. The last episode was terrifying. Absolutely freaking terrifying. Yeah. I thought for a moment there that we weren't going to get out of that place. But we did. One moment. There we go. Just shutting the door on over. The cat has left. She's done roaming for now. But yeah, I am going to be wrapping up the stream in about 10 minutes or so, thereabouts. So if you do have questions, throw them on through, and I will do my best to answer them. Zachad, any thoughts on Critical Role Season 3? I haven't had enough time to watch it yet at this stage. I've seen like the first 2 episodes, really good from what I'd seen so far. I'd like to watch more. I think it's going to be something that I just end up podcasting in the background while I'm doing house stuff, you know? Let's see. Yeah. So the way that's going to work, Christy, is effectively once we hit July 1st, the next episode is going to be on the other channel. The playlist will be displayed on the main page, so I think it should still work out when it comes to transitioning on over there. Yeah, we'll see how that plays. Generally, for the most part, YouTube is pretty good at linking one video to the next, and what I will do is I will go back afterwards and I'll make sure that on the last video of both Akira and Hilma on this channel, I'll make sure that I have in the end card a link to the new video so that it should link on over okay. Yeah. Is the new channel where the town halls and Q&As will be done? More than likely is going to be where they are done. Just because I feel like that is content that will work better over there as well. So the idea is to have this channel be all of the long cinematic role plays. So announcements and all the rest I probably will be doing over there, but I will also be doing that through Discord, through Twitter, and everything else as well. And I will also be doing it through posts over there. So there are ways to communicate things, even if it isn't directly on that channel, I will also link it. So there will be communication between the two channels. That should still work out okay. But yeah, it's gonna be there might be some teething issues for sure, but I hope that it does work out okay. Yeah. Fingers crossed, eh? There will certainly be new RimWorld videos, Tammy. Definitely. Whisperfire, the comments will still be there. You know, the video, that's the thing, is like the videos are staying on this channel. I can't transition them over. Like I won't be re-uploading anything. So all the videos will stay on Rykon Roleplays. It's just no new ones are going to be on there. But when it comes to a playlist, you won't really be able to notice the difference. It's just that at a certain point in the playlist, the videos will be on a different channel. Yes. So, that is the plan. Thank you, Fantasy. I appreciate that. Yes. Any idea when Seeking Sovngarde will be returning? I don't have a set date at this stage. I am going to be playing with Dylan Perry's new setup that he's got going on. Wildlander, I believe it's called. Yeah. But that's going to be the new kind of rule set that I use for that one. But yeah, I definitely want to do more of that. Yes. Have I thought about adding more onto Logan's story? 100%. That is more than likely going to be the next roleplay. It's going to be either that or Enderall. I'm going to be putting that up to a vote. But that isn't something that I'm talking about just yet. But yeah, we are most certainly going to be completing Logan's story. Do I think that Elder Scrolls 6 is coming out soon? No, I don't think anytime soon. I would love it to be soon. That would be great. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be any time. I'd say, knowing Bethesda, it's probably still at least another 3-4 years away. I don't know. It's hard to put a number on it. Yeah. I'd love it to be sooner than that, but who knows? Who knows? It's been a long time since Skyrim, huh? Yep. But I guess Bethesda have been making other things. They just haven't made anything in a really, really long time. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Starfield's like. Because, yeah, that's their first game in ages. I know they made Fallout 76, but that was a side team. So, yeah. Am I going to do a Starfield RP? 100%, most certainly. Am I going to continue with XCOM or start a new playthrough? I don't have any plans to at this stage, but I wouldn't rule out more games like that in the future. But yeah, I am going to be focusing more on hey, I guess XCOM can also be survival in a sense as well, right? Yeah. Stalker is always a possibility. I feel like my accent isn't quite there to be able to do a competent roleplay of that, but it's something that I would like to improve. And how well do I like to know a game before I roleplay? It depends on the game. Like Outlast, for example, I went into that pretty much blind, because that's the thing, is the character is blind to the situation, so I feel like that really made sense. Games like, Bethesda games, it does help if you do know the story a little bit more. Like, playing through Fallout 4, I think definitely helped with creating Ashes. At the same time, I think it could be possible to do it without. It's just understanding, or rather seeing where the story's going to go. You can pace things out a little bit better and plan things as well.
Still waiting on that Oblivion roleplay with Leon's great-grandfather Theon.
An Oblivion roleplay is possible, certainly possible, but yeah, it's not on the cards yet. But who knows? Who knows? Anything is possible in the future. Well, I think we are going to be wrapping things up here. Thank you for that super chat as well, Ramsden, by the way. Yeah, it's going to be a frightening time, to say the least. Stay in focus. There we go. That's better. Yeah. I'm nervous, but I'm excited about it at the same time. I think it could be really good for us going forwards. Eli, thank you. Thank you very much for your super chat there. Hey, hey. Appreciate that. Here comes Jenna.
Gotta say, it's been so fun to see your journey throughout the years. You are awesome.
Cheers. A very, very wholesome note. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I'm excited. I am terrified, but I think those are good things to be. Generally, they are emotions that are not exclusive from each other. So, new channel. We will see. I would love to do more quick adventures. Definitely. I think Cataclysm works really, really well for exploring those different starting possibilities. There are so many other challenges that I want to do in Cataclysm as well. There's stuff that I want to do with Project Zomboid. There's lots of things that I would like to, have a go at. But, yeah, for all of you who are here with me now, thank you so much for joining me for today's stream. It's been excellent to be able to talk to you all. It's been a very, very long time. We're not going to let it be so long next time. We're going to find time to make these things happen, or at least I'm going to. You don't have to show up. It's your choice. Yeah, next week, unfortunately, things are going to be a little bit quieter. There is going to be a Hilmer episode. I am going to be finishing off the Kenshi episode today as well. So you're going to have Tail of the Blade in the weekend. I don't know whether or not Akira is going to be ready for this weekend. So that's up in the air at this stage. But yeah, I am going to be away from home all of next week. I'm going to be back towards the very, very end. So there's a possibility that I might be able to get some stuff in then before the weekend. I'd love to have Ashes ready for the next weekend. So cross your fingers that everything goes well, that I make it back safe and in one piece. Yeah, it's been fantastic seeing you all. Again, it's been a long while. Been a long while. But yeah, it is time for us to wrap up. And I'm just trying to find the best screen to go to for an outro. I feel like the Town Hall outro doesn't really fit here. Okay, so you know what? Let's just go back to the start screen. Sure, that works. Ah, dear. Well, thank you once again for joining me today. It's been great to see you all. And I will have a video out very soon talking about this, probably next week. Yeah, more than likely. So, for now, I say, I've been Rykon, you have all been awesome, and until next time, stay tuned.